It's just stupid.
I could talk about it now just so we can move on. Fuck it.
Or we can talk about it now.
But then we're gonna talk about it again in an hour when somebody donates.
Yeah.
Did I say it was stupid? I meant to say it was a great business decision.
We'll just give him a timestamp
Exactly.
of the stream.
Somebody's saying 2.6K. We're really close anyway.
Oh, all right, getting there.
The numbers keep flying up and then down and then up and then down. I'm so
Yeah,
confused.
YouTube has been doing that a lot to everybody. I've watched a few other streamers this week. And
I'm so confused on how many people are actually watching
they've gone
us.
from
but...
200 to 300 to 200 to 300.
It was.
All right, well, we're 16 minutes in, so people know we're live. Look, when I found out about the kid behind the camera domestic violence situation, I found out about it a good 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after it actually took place. It got leaked online, his mugshot, and I called Mike right away. And when I called Mike, Mike was on the phone with Bridget on speaker, and I heard Mike's point of view and Bridget's point of view. Yeah. And what I was told is Mike got drunk for like the first time at Fat Camp, right?
Yep.
And he decided that him and his wife, ex-wife, Bridget, would drink and have a good time. Now, Bridget, when she's sober, doesn't care that Mike is hooking up with other women.
Nope, not at all.
But in this drunking episode that they were having, she looked at his phone, saw he was talking to other girls, right? This is the story that they're both telling me, right? And she lost her mind.
Yep.
Started going.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with some LCU stuff, mostly related to the get behind the camera stuff, which to a lot of people, they have been sweeping for Mike. And yeah, yeah, you can imagine that a lot of people have been making videos about it, a lot of people have been talking about this, and a lot of people have given their opinions. To the point where it was causing an uproar within, obviously within the LCL. So, you know, that's something. That is something. It is something. Are things going to get better? Probably not. No. This is probably going to be something they have to deal with within the next couple days, hours, right? The fact that, throughout the stream, they were kind of gaslighting people, right? Even if they may point, those points were very weak, right? Right now, Keemstar just said, like, oh yeah, Bridget, Bridget got mad because, Mike was banging other chicks. Now, as a reminder, Bridget and Mike are in an open relationship. They have always been in an open relationship. They have made this very, very clear. I remember this very much in Queens and in the live, and even in Rewind, that they have mentioned that they have been in an open relationship. But mind you, that it's open relationship with other women. So, and supposedly, in the police report, good old Mike, struck Bridget because, she says she was having an affair. Now, later on, they do have Bridget on the phone, and Bridget kind of, quote unquote, right, in their logic, admit that, oh no, I faked that it was a lie. Yeah, a lie, right? So you lied to get hit. Or was that a lie too? Because none of it was making sense, right? Because the way they're playing it off is sort of a gaslighting people, while at the same time they did listen to the report, they did listen to the phone call, right? Let's keep going on and see how this all plays out. Because in my honest opinion, this is probably one of the biggest L they have taken in a long time, right? Right, to the point where this may start affecting them more and more and more, right? Most places would at least fire or suspend Mike almost indefinitely, right? Even if they fire him, they can always bring him back, right? Oh, he was proven innocent and all this stuff, right? But mind you, this isn't the first time they've done something like this with Mike.
going crazy, started saying horrible shit to him, evil shit to him, and Mike stormed out of the house, left the house, and Bridget called the cops and lied to the cops that Mike was hitting her and all this other stuff.
Yep.
Then I was told that Mike came in the house and was like, "What's going on?" Bridget was telling Mike that she called the cops and she's on the phone with the cops.
Yep.
And when the cops come, they asked Mike if he hit her, and he goes, "Take me to jail. If she wants me arrested, then I'll be arrested." And they're like, "Well, did you hit her?" He goes, "I hit her like 50 times."
Yep, I remember.
You know? So,
That's what drunk Mike is like. too,
Don't
but-
talk to the cops, man.
So-
But he was being sarcastic, like, "Oh, I hit her like a
They
million
don't
times.
know
Take me to the
that.
cops. Take me in."
Don't talk to the cops.
Now keep in mind, they're both sober 3 weeks, 2 weeks after the fact, telling me this on the phone. Okay? Then Bridget apparently sent a letter to the judge or the prosecutor or whatever, explaining that she lied, you know, and she was drunk and intoxicated, and they were just arguing, right? And as far as I know, everything's being dropped when Mike goes to court. It was supposed
Which is
to be,
like 10 days, 15
yeah,
days
it's like
from now.
10 days from now.
Yeah.
Now Mike was supposed to have this all dropped like I
Month
think
ago.
2 weeks ago or something.
Almost a month.
That was
almost
my
a month
understanding.
ago.
Yeah.
Justice is slow. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. And I know like the 911 call got released. I have not heard it, but if it's Bridget saying Mike hit her, then that's the story I heard,
Yep.
because that's what she did. She called 911, said Mike hit her.
Yep.
You know, on Lolcowlive, I laughed about the situation. I said it's funny when you think about.
Yeah, so if you don't remember, when this first came out, you know, Keemstar, the day after, did speak to both Mike and Bridget about the whole situation. Right, from the reports and from what we hear from the police call, clearly Mike did hit Bridget. Now the question is at what level, how hard it was, and everything. Right, in the police report, we saw that that it was basically just like a slap. Well, not a slap, right? It wasn't just like, oh, it was just a slap. It was a red mark on her left side of her face. Now, to be fair, right, if you really wanted to, I guess, I don't know, if you wanted to make the case like, well, you know, did it cause bruising, right? Later on, they would try to use the excuse of, well, they were drunk, and that, you know, if you ever met a drunk person, their face turns red. Now that is an actual thing, right? Right, especially among Amerindians and Asians, right? Their face do turn red when they're drunk. But among, let's say, like white people or even black people, their face usually don't turn red when they're that drunk or even drinking. I mean, they do, but it takes a while, and even then, a lot of the time, it doesn't show. So they did try to use that as an excuse of, well, her face was red because she was drinking. Now you can make the case that during this whole thing, she was yelling at her, with, you know, yelling at Mike, which resulted in her face turning red, because when you do get mad, especially when you're drunk, your face, your body is much more red because the blood is coming, you know, all the way to your skin and everything. That could be a fair point. Doesn't change the fact from the actual call and from the report itself and from the police officer that there was a strike, and even Mike. Now, obviously, the fact that Mike was saying, well, if she wants to believe or this or whatever, that I did hit her, I hit her 50, like, well, if you're lying to a cop about something like that, that doesn't make you look good either way, right? And again, in the actual report, Mike did state that he was black out, that he doesn't know if he hit her, which makes me kind of think that, you know, that puts this whole thing into a little bit of an issue. But then I admit to the cop right after, you know, I did hit her. So you know, well, what is it? What is it, Keemstar? Is it the you know? Because when you look at the report, you hear the phone call, then you hear these guys. It's creating this fog of the unknown, this fog of So who's telling the truth? Are they telling the truth in their drunken state, or are you guys telling the truth? Obviously, I'm not gonna believe these guys, but I guess you want it to be fair, quote unquote fair. You can at least someone take what they're saying to accountability. Because you gotta remember, or not accountability, you can at least take their what they say into account because Mike does have a tendency to lie. But in this situation, I don't think there was any lying. I think that the truth is very much there, and they're trying to defend him or sweep him. I mean, again, this isn't the first time this has happened.
And it's not a big deal. And everyone said I was sweeping, but if Bridget and Mike are telling me the truth, that's what happened, then it is funny. These two drunk idiots fucking called the cops.
Can I be very controversial here? I don't really care. Fuck it. You can cancel me. I got liar tide put in my face. I'm the kind of person that always says, believe the victim. And when the victim told me that she was drunk and being vindictive and she was just trying to get the guy in trouble because she was mad that he was fucking other women, I believe her.
Well,
I believe her when she tells me that she lied to the cops. When she says that's what she did. When she wrote a statement to the court saying I lied to the fucking cops, I'm gonna believe her. I'm sorry. Does that make me the asshole? Maybe I'm the asshole.
well, JC talking sense, it's on video, not listening to the sweeping.
What's on video?
But it's like, well, I can only go on what sober Bridget is telling me. I'm not gonna go on what drunk Bridget is telling me. So, I don't know what the sweeping is.
The other people are
Also-
like, somebody else is saying that Bridget might be sweeping. She's in the middle of a divorce. I don't know if you've ever met a divorced woman, but there's this old saying about hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You might have heard it. If there was any truth to it, I don't think Bridget would fucking hesitate to fucking throw him under the bus.
Well, if
personally,
it was truthful and Mike really did hit her, I think when she was sober and going through a divorce with Mike, currently going through a divorce, I think she would be pretty adamant that Mike hit her. You know?
Yeah.
But she's not saying that. So I'm sorry, I gotta use common sense in this situation, right? If Mike was hitting her, Bridget going
At
through a divorce with Mike.
Son 3 super chatted $19.99. Keem, you have to listen to the 911 call. She is scared on the call, and this situation is worse than Jordy.
That's
I mean,
that's quite the statement.
I can listen to the 911 call, but Bridget already told me she called the cops and lied. So I don't know what you want me to do with that.
Actually, Bridget came on the show and told us that she called the cops and lied. She already came on the show and said that.
I was gonna say, like, what about swatting too? You know how like they call and they lie.
Now, if Bridget, like, let's say hypothetically, right, let's say hypothetically Bridget did lie to the cops, right, because, again, mind you, they are in an open relationship. They're going through a state of divorce, right, and to be fair, depending on who you ask on that situation, a state of divorce, a lot of people are, it really depends, right? Right, it's the same thing when you're dealing with a separation. If you're in a state of separation with your spouse or whoever, maybe at that point, maybe you shouldn't really be, quote unquote, looking for other people or looking for other relationship during a state of separation, versus in a state of divorce where you already fill out the paperwork, you're going through the procedures, you're paying the money, you're paying the lawyers, and you're paying all the dues and everything. To be fair, at that point, it's free game. You're allowed to date who you want. You're allowed to talk. Maybe we both agree, like, hey, let's wait to the divorce, right? Let's wait to the actual date of divorce before we go into any type of relationship. Then I could kind of see that. But for the most part, it doesn't. For the most part, if you're already going through the process, you're already are living in different places, right? You're already going through that. It's free game. Now, maybe during this time, maybe they were trying to fix a relationship. But the problem is, it's like from what we heard already in the past, during the days preceding to Fat Camp, Michael was already sleeping with other women. Now, whether or not that's believable or not, I'll let you decide on that one. Nevertheless, right? Nevertheless, if that isn't the case, and he lied that he was sleeping with other people, and Boogie just kind of pushed that down, why keep the lie going? Why keep lying like this, only to eventually, get the cops called on you? And then Bridget lied to the cop about all of this, and that makes her even worse. If anything, to be fair, this actually makes them even look way worse if they were being hit. Actually, it's probably equal in the sense that if Michael did hit Bridget, right? Because I do believe he did hit Bridget. I want to make that clear. That's pretty bad. But if Bridget did lie to the cops, and they did lie all the way through, you wouldn't go through the court case. You wouldn't go through all of this stuff for a lie. You probably still go to court because you lied to the cops, but that would be unrelated to what is being told. So either way, it looks bad. And if Bridget did lie, again, hypothetically, if they both lied about this, they're both equal. This is actually even worse in the sense that, well, now you have a lot of people who just don't trust people about this kind of stuff. You just made it even worse on yourself as it is. And I feel like they don't grasp that, right? Like, you lied about something, not realizing that makes you even worse. So either way, by saying, they just lied, you do realize by lying about something that is, a lot of people do take serious, a lot of people do find this a very sensitive topic, you just made it way worse than it has to be, because now nobody would trust you after that. Good job. You just, you just made it even worse, right? Because obviously, we have seen cases where women have lied about false assault, false stuff like that. And we have seen, Aldama, how those lies destroy a man's whole life. This isn't something you can just simply laugh off. No.
For those of you with domestic abuse in your past, you probably will not like hearing whatever this is. So just be careful.
I don't know enough about this entire situation to comment intelligently about it, but everyone's gonna take shots about me, like saying whatever I want or saying about like the police. Like, no matter what you're
Where
get
are
yourself
you
involved
right
in.
now? Where are you safe right now? Or are you separated?
He went inside, but I went inside. Oh God!
All right, take it. Hey.
In the face so many times. Hello?
I'm still here. Where is he?
He's inside right now.
Okay.
I fucking walked. It's a call.
No, I want you to stay separated.
You open that? I just clipped my.
Does he have any weapons?
No.
Okay. Has anybody been drinking?
Yeah, we both are.
So they're
Okay.
both drinking.
Do you
That's
need
what Mike
EMS?
and Bridget told me.
Yep.
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. When he fucking hit me, I fucking saw white, so whatever that fucking means.
You saw lights when he hit you?
Yes.
Did you pass out?
Hurry now, please hurry. Please
They're
hurry.
on the way. They're already on the way.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your name?
Bridget.
What's your name?
Please fucking hurry. He's coming.
Okay. I'm staying on the phone with you, okay? What's your name, hon?
I'm running on my goddamn road right now because I don't fucking trust him.
You're running?
Yes, I'm literally on my road right now because I don't trust him.
At Three-Legged
Or
Mermaid Super
is he
Chatted
actively chasing
$20.
you?
Take advantage of me like that,
He's
Keem.
calling my name. No, I got the cops on you. Leave me alone. Go. No.
So she's screaming at him that she called the cops on
And
him.
this is consistent with what Mike told me, is that he tried to call him out.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Michael Green.
Michael Green. What's your name?
Bridget West.
What West?
Yes.
Bridget West?
Stop talking to me. I'm on the phone with the cops. Leave me alone.
Miss West, what's your first name?
Bridget.
Bridget, okay.
Okay, someone in the chat said, but Keem, you just told us they were sober.
Did
yeah,
he go
when
back
I
in the
told
house?
you 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
No, he's
fuck
following
are you
me right
talking
now.
about?
Okay.
He's walking on my
Which way are you walking?
towards the fucking road to Central.
Towards Central?
Here. Yes.
All right, they're coming. I'm just staying on the phone with you, okay? Let me know if he continues to follow you.
Stop talking to me! God damn it, go!
Stop talking.
No,
Stop talking to me.
No, stop hitting me. Stop chasing me. Stop talking to me.
I'm fucking close! I don't fucking trust you! Go! Please hurry. God damn it, please hurry.
Is he still behind you?
Yeah, he's like,
Okay,
he's like
okay.
getting closer, like, God damn it!
Okay. What does Michael look like?
He's
Is he
like-
white?
Yeah, he's white, he's 350 pounds. He's kind
How old is Michael? How old is Michael?
37.
37.
37. Woo!
6'2", 87?
Yes. Stop
Okay.
following me, Michael.
Sophie Ninja said Keem had his mind up before playing the call. His opinion can't be trusted. My opinion is based off of speaking to Bridget.
They're coming to you as fast as can, okay?
Okay.
Can you pause that for a second?
He's probably walking back to the house now. I don't know.
He's
Don't see him no more.
So he walked back to the house at
Yeah.
this point. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess I'll go sit and wait for the cops. Not that he got, like, he ran, not that he hid. He's like, all right, I guess I'll talk to the cops. Sounds like a very...
There's something I want to say. There's like more to the story that they both told me, but I don't know if I should say it.
I don't know, and I'll tell you why.
Let me say, I'm going to say this.
Say
I
it.
don't care. I don't fucking care
Say
anymore. Everyone's calling me a liar and a sweeper. I'm just going to tell the truth. Mike had marks on him. Bridget had 0 marks. 0. So,
We even have the photos.
I can't believe you actually said it.
I have the
Fuck.
photos.
I
So,
can't believe you actually said it.
you know, it's like,
God damn it, man.
look,
It's right
dude.
to say it, but I can't believe you said it.
Wait.
look,
Let me make sure.
I'm not happy that Bridget did this, but I will say this about Bridget, right? She owned her shit, right? I spoke to her and she said, I got drunk, I got pissed off, I looked at his phone and I fucking called the cops and I just wanted him to be in trouble. And then Mike told me when the cops got there, he told the cops, yeah, she wants me to go to jail? Fine, I'll go to jail, because he was drunk. He goes, I hit her 15 times or some shit like that, right? You know, look, I obviously do not support domestic violence. Guys, can you please stop? I don't. I talked to Bridget, and Bridget told me that this is all bullshit.
So the photos show that Mike was harmed, Bridget was not, but the police report says otherwise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that he did it. He just admitted to it while drunk and just was being stupid.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the police report would say that she had marks on her when the photo evidence clearly contradicts it.
Well, that's another thing in the South, especially whenever women call for DV, or anyone, whoever calls first, they get the one-up in a way. 'Cause
I
they
just,
call
like,
first.
look, here's the deal. if Mike is really hitting on Bridget, I would not be friends with Mike.
I agree.
Would you be friends with Mike if he's hitting
No,
Bridget?
obviously, fucking.
I wouldn't. But when Bridget is telling me that she lied and that they were just drunk fighting,
And she's got access to Twitter
what
right
am I
now.
supposed to do? Am I supposed to be like, no, Bridget, you're really getting beat. You're lying to me now, Bridget. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's like Bridget has every incentive to make sure Mike is fully charged if she was actually hit. Yep. They're going through a divorce. Bridget takes all the money, millions of dollars, if this is true.
Yep.
She has every incentive to stick to this story. But no, she did the opposite and wrote a fucking letter to the goddamn prosecutor saying, this isn't true.
Yeah,
I want it dropped.
They're literally in the middle of a divorce. If sober Bridget was as vindictive as drunk Bridget, she would literally tweet it out right now.
I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says in this chat. I gotta go with my common sense.
Well, again,
They're going through a divorce. She has every incentive, Boogie.
Again, there's a lot of people in chat who think they know better than Bridget.
Well, now
And
there'll
I'm
be
gonna
people
trust
spending
Bridget.
hush money.
And then Chet will be like, oh no, Keem wants to keep Mike in the LCU for Queens. Bro, me and Mike make like $5-7 grand a month on Queens. That's nothing to either one of us.
Yep.
To either one of us. We don't give a shit.
And you fought for the Kelly shit whenever all that happened, so let's not claim that you like DV or some shit, because we were on Kelly's side.
So, yeah, that was a response. Now, there is still more to it. And for the most part, we can keep going and going. Now, I'm probably going to end the video off with the Bridget call, because I did end up calling Bridget, which was an interesting conversation. And just based on her general reaction and mannerism to this whole situation, you know what, when we get to it, we get to it. Right? Now, all of this doesn't look good no matter how hard, we try to make this, right? It does not look good. It makes things look probably way worse than it needs to be. It makes things way more rough on everybody. Right? Just the way they responded, the way they're acting throughout this whole segment of the video, and just throughout this whole segment of the stream is like kind of like they don't even care, and they already are committed to what they already believe. Which at this point they kind of have to, because and I already said this in my stream. If they go down the route of firing Michael, then they have to come to realize that, oh, well, us defending him during the whole PDF stuff, we gotta be careful with that allegation, with that whole thing. But throughout the whole, age thing, when obviously we knew that Michael was dating Bridget when she was very young, right? Right. They'll have to kind of realize, like, damn, maybe we were. And at this point, they have to just keep committing to what they already believe in. They have no choice but to keep committing. At that point, which is even sad, but it's true, right? And also this whole thing, well, when I spoke to them, or I guess like 2 or 3 weeks later, they were sober. So did they lie about being drunk initially, or they lie about being sober? Like, it's stuff like that that makes it kind of hard. And just watching them react to this whole thing, you can tell at the level that they don't care. Like, Boogie is just sitting there like, like he just doesn't care. He's completely just shut down any emotion. Keem is just trying to just process and just trying to figure something out to get out of this, right? Like very political, very politician. And CD-ROM, it's just there like, you could probably tell that CD-ROM feels really uncomfortable. He feels like he has no matter what he says, he's screwed. So it's just better to stick what they're going with and just live with it. Right? It's just true. At that point, CD-ROM has no choice but just to go with it and just believe, just go with the, I guess in this case, the mainline thinking, because it would just be better for him rather than just, what else would happen? It's a very rough situation. It's a very rough position. As I said earlier, they did speak to Bridget, and we will eventually get into that part, right? Because we're probably this video has been going on a lot longer, and this whole segment of the video keeps on going. They kind of just loop for a little bit. They speak to Nightmare, and from there after that, they just kind of drop it completely because they realize that there's nothing else they can say or could do. Right. It feels like on one hand they're doing their best to, sweep. On the other hand, they know that they have no choice but to commit to this, right? Because if right, let's say if a situation might go right, if the situation is they did lie about it, which I don't think they did, but if they did lie about it, and as I said before, that makes them look even worse because in a way you're kind of discrediting women who go through abuse. Not even just women, but anybody that goes through any kind of abuse, you kind of discredit them to some extent. So, it's just nuts. It's just a nutty situation that I don't think anybody can really get into. And no matter what you do, you're just kind of bone. You're just kind of bone at this point. All right, but let's get into the Bridget and probably end the video from there. All right, let's go from there.
Be quiet.
Hello?
Hey, Bridget. So, my entire chat is saying I'm sweeping because I tried to explain to them. I talked to you and Mike about the situation, and you guys told me what really happened. And I said, Mike's not a bad guy. So, just say what you want to say. You're on live on air.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we were just really fucking drunk. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know, okay, so I went through his phone, right? And I got really jealous. He's talking to so many women. So, I told him that I would cheat on him. I'm not. And then he started throwing shit and yelling, and then he went inside. I got scared, so I called the cops.
Okay. Important question. Did he hit you?
No.
Okay. Is there anything more you'd like to add to the story?
No, that's probably it. Like, I just wanted him out of the house because I was scared. But that's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Bridget. So there.
Now, should we ignore the laughing happy girl who just said that Mike is innocent and take chat side? Is that a thing we should do, you guys think?
No. Should I listen to the victim or should I listen to chat?
Yeah, let's listen to chat, everybody. Chat knows better than the woman who's sitting here laughing about it.
And there you go. They spoke to Bridget. And just by the way Bridget is sounding does not make me feel any better than before. Now, mind you, something I forgot to mention that Boogie once, Boogie said earlier, always believe the victim, right? But mind you, it's the same guy who was accusing Zay Zuda's boyfriend, S1K, of being an abuser, right? Right? Remember that whole little situation like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where for some weird reason Boogie decided to, quote unquote, accuse of S1K as being an abuser? Like, remember that whole situation? Remember how that whole thing panned out and just extremely blew up on Boogie's face and just made things way worse than it had to? No, not really things makes worse, because if she was in an abusive relationship, why the hell are you gonna... I don't know. It makes just things worse. And here we have Bridget and everything, and I just don't... I don't know. I just don't believe her. Because he said, well, I just went through his phone and I was mad. But then the police report literally said that, that she was having an affair. right? If maybe they didn't add that in, maybe for some weird reason that wasn't added in, that doesn't even sound right. Either way, you just I feel like you just made it way worse than it needed to be. I don't know. I think that in the end we'll have to wait, because no matter what we can try to do, no matter what you want to believe, whether you believe the LCU or you believe that Michael hit Bridget, in the end of the day you'll have to wait, right? And it is very, the way they're acting and the way they're thinking, they're very confident. And maybe, worst case scenario, they are right. Or maybe the truth is that, Mike did hit Bridget, right? Because the court case was never dropped. It was moved, but never dropped. And we'll have to wait and see how things pan out, right? We'll have to wait and see how everything is, right? And before we end the video, just thinking about how Bridget was acting and talking, like, you can make the case that she is defending him, right? They were saying, well, she has everything she could do to get everything she wants. Fair enough. But at the same time, if you've never been or ever seen any abusive relationship, you also know that the victim has a tendency to defend the abuser. That is a very common thing that we do see, that a lot of victims do defend their abuser. It is a common tactic they do use, right? Right? Because I believe if Michael did go to jail, this could affect the divorce procedure even more and more. Now, they said that Bridget wrote a letter to the court. That is a common thing. Now, we're not sure if this letter was an actual letter, like a paper letter, or it was an email. Either way, if she did wrote a letter, then there should be some type of record somewhere, and maybe it wouldn't be too hard to ask for that. And then before they did, and another thing they mentioned was that, well, they said, well, Bridget did not have any marks, but Mike did. Well, okay, where's the proof? And mind you, they were in fat camp the week before the whole thing did happen, so he probably could have easily gotten the mark during fat camp because they were moving around a lot. Or on the other hand, maybe Bridget did attack Michael, but that would have been part of the police report, right? Because stuff like that is important to the police, and the police would have noticed. So none of it's making any sense. Like, the way they're trying to deflect or defend doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up at all. But maybe we could be wrong, right? Maybe we're all wrong, and worst case scenario, he'll get away with it, and nothing would happen, and things would just move on. Or, I honestly do believe that he did commit a crime. He did hit Bridget. We've seen enough of it, or at least we heard. But in the end of the day, there's not much we can do. End of the day, all we can do is wait to the court case and see what happened. Whether or not he go to jail, or whether or not this will be dropped. Because even if Bridget tried to get this thing dropped, South Carolina, from what I understand, and somebody could correct me how South Carolina law works, they can still prosecute without, the person. So either way, Mike gets kind of boned. And as I said before, if it started over Bridget getting jealous because Mike is talking to a bunch of women, like, you're in an open relationship. So, like, what do you expect? And you're in a state of divorce. Like, you can't have both ways, right? You can't always be with the woman and still be in an open relationship, because eventually somebody is going to develop feelings. And if Bridget was repressing those feelings until now, then why didn't you just leave him before? But again, you can also make the case that she stuck around because the money was good. Which, hey, that's a fair point. So no matter what you try to do, or no matter what can be done, you're putting yourself in a very rough position. And I think because of that, there's not much that could be done or said. And I want to thank everybody who's been through it with me going through this saga. Maybe down the line, I may do a video comparing this to the whole PDS stuff that happened months prior, the first time Mike got in trouble. So we'll that may hopefully come out some point next. I don't know when. Hopefully in the future, I get through and make a video on that. I don't know. Till then, everybody, be safe. And as always, God bless. Till next time. Bye.